Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us for our first podcast here at TEI Landmark Audio. My name is Tori. You can call me Fabulous.
And I'm Anthony.
Hey Anthony.
How you doing, Tori?
I'm better than a wet fish slap on the belly. How are you, my friend?
I am awesome today.
Awesome. Okay, so we decided that for our initial podcast that we should probably let you know a little bit about who we are and how we came to be. Our CEO, Carol Tully, started TEI Landmark Audio 28 years ago at her kitchen table with just a $1,000 investment because she knew that she had a brilliant idea. And the original concept and how we continue to grow was through our leasing program. And for those of you that may not know, we started the whole idea of audiobook leasing plans. There were a few of our competitors that kind of jumped on board and they tried their own version of the leasing program, and they just didn't quite hit the nail on the head. So we are now proud to say that we are the only company that leases audiobooks.
Audiobooks, playaways, and even makerspace items.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we'll get into a whole makerspace concept in a little bit, but that is such an awesome idea and so unique. We are the only company that is working to be able to make makerspace and STEAM initiative products affordable for every library. So one of the things that we want you to know right away about TEI Landmark Audio is that we are non-commission based here. The directive from our CEO is, and always has been, don't try to sell anything to anyone. Try to ask the right questions, get quality information into your hands so that you can make a decision that's best for your library. We want you to know that you can feel perfectly comfortable in calling us at any time. Ask us any question about anything that we do at TEI, and you will never get a sales pitch. No pressure, no hassle, no kidding.
Amen. And that actually gives us a lot of freedom to just be ourselves, to just give you quality products at a quality price. It's a family-run business, and everyone here just pulls together and helps out. If I'm out for a day, Tori absolutely can handle or answer any questions, or anyone else here can. And the beautiful thing about this, too, is that there's no phone trees. When you call someone, you're going to get a live person. You're going to get your questions answered, and they're going to take care of you right then and there.
Yep, absolutely. So anytime you call in, you will always get a live representative, and most of the time, you will get a resolution to your question, your comment, your concern within that first phone call. And we're very proud of that. We pride ourselves on our customer service.
Yes.
And there's one other thing that we want to make sure that we get out right away at the very beginning of the conversation. We are committed to the success of every single library, regardless of the size of the facility, the depths of their pockets. We know that the small and rural library specifically is kind of overlooked by the bulk of our competition. You know, they're looking for the big fish,
yep,
as most companies are. But didn't you tell how many?
80% of American libraries are associated as small and rural libraries. 80%. That's a lot of libraries out there that are kind of being overlooked.
Absolutely. So we have developed programs and plans specifically for the small and rural library, and we don't want you to be shy about calling us and having a conversation to see what we might be able to do for you. Now, that having been said, we also want you all to know that, you know, we service huge library systems as well.
Yes.
So again, regardless of the size of the facility, we are here to meet your needs, and we've been happily doing that for 28 years now, which I think is amazing.
That's awesome.
That's like half of my life.
Barely. Yep. Now, you know, another fun fact, too, is our CEO, Carol, was the director of finance for many non-for-profit organizations.
Indeed.
She knows the trials, the tribulations, and the challenges that come with trying to get finance, trying to get your funding for your organization.
Absolutely. And she's very familiar with the whole grant process. She's written grants and been awarded grants herself in her previous positions. And so she understands what a headache that might be to put grants together. As a matter of fact, here at TEI, we have sponsored a couple of grant programs ourselves. So we understand how difficult it is for especially small and rural libraries to acquire the money that's needed to staff and pay the bills and acquire materials. And that's one of the reasons why we work so diligently to put plans and programs together that are going to be easy to understand, easy to use, and they're cost effective, even for the smallest of libraries.
Absolutely.
So when we were talking about the leasing program as an example, for those of you that don't know, let's talk about how the audiobook leasing program works so that,
Sounds
we can
great.
make sure that you have a better understanding as you walk away from this particular program. So the gist of the program is that based on your financial situation, the amount of money that you're able to invest, we customize every single lease proposal for every single library based on the library's needs, their budget, and their patron expectations. All right. So, and we have 3 different tiers of leasing programs, right?
Okay.
We've got the premium program, which is going to allow a library to get basically whatever they want. But we recommend that when you're participating in the premium program, that you're focusing your efforts on the latest and greatest releases.
All the hot new releases.
Exactly. All right. So because we have libraries that have that premium leasing program, they've rotated the titles through their collection and returned them to us. So we have tens of thousands of lightly circulated audiobooks sitting on our shelf. So we developed the Budget Buster program. Now with the Budget Buster program, you have to select the titles from a list that we provide to you because they have to be titles that we already have in-house. But with us being able to circulate those titles again, that's good for our bottom line.
Yep.
And we pass the savings on to the library, which is good for your bottom line. Now, you might be worried about the titles or the authors that are available, but when you really realistically think about it, we all know that most libraries are going to be looking for the same style of titles. Most libraries.
Patterson's, Ivanovich's, the
Clyde
Stephen
Kessler,
King's.
and so on. Exactly.
Yep.
So you can rest assured that you're going to have a fabulous selection of authors and titles to select from with the Budget Buster program, even though they might be, 18 months or so. But if your patron hasn't heard it, it's still new to them. So your patron is able to come in and select from a wide variety of titles and authors, something that they're familiar with, and the library is saving money in the process. And then we move on to our nearly new program, and those titles are even just a little older than the Budget Buster. So we give the opportunity to circulate them yet again, which again, speaking candidly, is good for our bottom line. And speaking candidly, we pass those savings on to the library as well. So even the smallest of libraries is able to afford quality audiobook products to get onto their shelves for their patrons. Now, taking that a step further, every 90 days or every 120 days, depending on how the program is set up for you, you rotate out a portion of your collection.
Do they select what they rotate out?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the library has total autonomy in regards to what is coming to the library and what is being returned back from the library.
Excellent.
However, if you don't particularly care for the process, if you don't have the time, the patience, or the inclination to sit down and select the audiobook titles yourself, you can save an additional 10% on the leasing program by allowing us to select the titles for you.
Based off of customer profile, we will take what your likes and dislikes are, and we can set up a program specifically tailored for you.
Oh, exactly. So with the customer profile, and it takes about 45 seconds to fill out, you return that back to us, and it will say, as an example, heavy on the mystery and romances, send us a Western occasionally, never send us a sci-fi, we like this style of nonfiction, or don't send us any nonfiction.
Or a book shot.
Exactly. So basically, the customer profile is a compass that points us in the right direction to make sure that the titles that we're selecting are going to be appropriate for the patron base of your library.
And we've been doing this for 28 years. We've got this down to a science. The people here that choose the titles for you are excellent at it.
Oh, exactly.
I'm great at talking to people. I'm not so great at picking out titles, but we've got a ton of people that can do that for us.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everyone that works here has a specialization, and every single person that works here is not only dedicated to the success of their position and what they're doing. There's a tremendous amount of pride among the staff here at TEI.
Amen.
Well, right. So we want to make sure that that everything that we're doing is of benefit to you.
Yep. And speaking of which, we have a question that was asked of us. Let's take a look.
All right, so there was a library in Kentucky that asked us if we can customize our Makerspace program.
Absolutely. And actually, Kentucky is your area, Tori, so I'm going to let you talk about that. I did want to say, though, that with the Makerspace, with all of our products, they're available for purchase, they're available for lease, and we have the gently used on that. So we didn't mention, but after the leasing program, we have the $12 Tuesday sale. But we can get into that later on. We offer the Makerspace, and I'm really excited about this. The Makerspace is a wonderful concept. A lot of the libraries are getting into the STEAM and STEM initiatives. And we thought, we've been doing the leasing for over 28 years. Right. Why don't we apply this to our Makerspace?
Exactly. So we are really, really excited about the new direction that we've recently opened up. We are now not only offering Makerspace and STEAM initiative products available for purchase, but we have put together an awesome leasing program for your Makerspace and STEAM initiative sessions that you're hosting at your library.
Yep. And let's back up just a little bit too, just in case you're not familiar with the concept of Makerspace. It is the same thing you've been doing for years. It is a knitting club. It's a Legos club. It is any type of group that gets together. They have a dedicated space where they're making things with no certain curriculum. It's just, you want to be creative. You want to try different things. So when you have the Legos club and you have the kids come together, you're not telling them specifically, I want you to build this, 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 and this. You're saying, here's a bunch of blocks. What can we make with it? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the people too, they make it a community type of commitment. So that the knitting clubs get together and they make hats, scarves, or sweaters, and they donate to the homeless shelters and stuff. That's an awesome way to get participation and to get the community involvement and to give back.
Right. So we have taken the concept of Makerspace and STEAM sessions to the next level. Mm-hmm. All right. So the way that the Makerspace in a Crate program works is once every 4 months, you get a crate full of product that is going to support a specific science.
And so, it's awesome. It's mind-blowing.
Oh my God, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
All right. And we're way ahead of the curve. There is no other company that's doing this. And so let's say, as an example, the first crate would show up and it's full of products that promotes circuitry. All right. And then 4 months later, you get a new crate and it's full of product that's going to support robotics or music or any number of sciences. And we've even done the additional footwork for you because we have located all of the teacher guides and lesson plans and so on and so forth that we can get our hands on. And we send that to you about 2-3 weeks ahead of you actually receiving the crate of materials so that the librarians have an opportunity to study up on the product, figure out how they're best going to be able to utilize and the products inside of the crate, and how to design their sessions based around the product that's inside of that crate.
So the great thing about these crates is that it's going to have 4 or 5 major products, and it's going to have 3 or 4 kind of minor ones. And there's also going to be consumable things that you get to keep right off the bat off the crate. So let's say that you have a small amount of children there, that you're not really having a huge amount of kids that are going to be in your program. You can set up a station each month. And so this month we're talking about the robotics, or let's say Dash in particular. And then we go to Codapillar, and then we go to the next month. Or if you have a lot of kids, you can set up stations, 4 or 5 different major stations. 4 or 5 kids can be huddled around learning how the Dash works, while 4 or 5 are around the Bloxels, or 4 or 5 are around the Codapillar type of thing. And we have a wide range of ages that we're going to cover with these crates. But they are customizable. So if you're looking for something specific, you really want to get into, let's say Sphero. You want to do a robotics course and you want Sphero and you want Dash and Dot. We can customize that for you too.
All right. So the tall and skinny is that we are the only company that's leasing audiobooks and Makerspace opportunities, and it can save you a ton of money. People don't know what they don't know. I told you at the very beginning of this podcast, we are non-commission based. We are not pushy salespeople. We highly encourage you to pick up the phone and give us a call at 800-850-1701, or you can reach out to us at podcast@TEI landmarkaudio.com with your questions or concerns. We'll get back to you as soon as possible, get quality information into your hands, and allow you to make a decision that's best for your library. Thank you so much for joining us. We are TEI, where we teach, engage, and inspire.